What's going on, everybody? Not here. And first of all, would like to thank everybody for participating in our first anniversary live stream today. We effectively sold tickets for some of the random sealed cases that we have. We did a randomization. Everybody got a really cool sealed case. The value was a good amount better than what the cost of the ticket was, and then we ended up randomizing two full cases of Silver Tempest ETBs. So it was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for that. But I want to get into this week in distribution and go through the card games. So I'm going to go top down. Bo Jackson Battle Arena. If you guys don't know what this is really cool from the perspective of, yeah, it's TCG, but it's more of a sports card game, if you will, or experience. I actually got a couple of the alpha update products from one of my distributors, opened them, and it was a blast. They are on card autographs. It's definitely worth checking out. But the reason I bring it up is they just announced a new Griffey set. So those of you who know anything about sports, Ken Griffey Jr. was one of the icons of the 90s and 2000s in baseball. Had a great career. Injuries cut him a little bit short, but yeah, Bo Jackson, Ken Griffey, and on-card autographs. From my perspective, it's kind of hard to go wrong. So anyway, that being said, let's go to Flesh and Blood. I don't know if I touched on this one last week, but the new set that's coming out is called Super Slam. The boxes are super allocated, so anybody who's dealt with singles and a lot of product in the past has gotten slammed. In fact, I know somebody who's opened 500 to 800 boxes on every set so far, and his contacts have been cut, or his sources have been cut below 200. So it seems to me like everybody and their brother is now ordering Flesh and Blood because it appears to be free money. What most stores don't understand is that the sealed product doesn't move. It's absolutely terrible and illiquid to move unless you're moving it in pre-order. But quite honestly, the number of boxes that sell on TCG Player for this, it's like a third, maybe even a fourth year. Like Weiss boxes sell more than this for pre-release on most random games. It's very illiquid. So we'll see what happens on this one. My guess is it's just going to blow up, and all the stores are going to end up selling it. It's going to get spread too thin to a lot of stores that don't do organized play or any play. They don't sell in the store, and then they're going to have an issue. But that's just kind of reading the tea leaves as things go forward. So Godzilla card game. This has actually been a huge success for us. Not really in the store, but we've sold a lot of these online. And people love the experience for $55, $54, $55 MSRP boxes. The cards are beautiful. If you're a fan of the movies and you understand the different series, it's really cool because it's basically stills from the movies. The card quality is phenomenal. I have no idea how to play it. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll see it this year at Gamma in February, and the Bushi folks can just hold my hand like I am a fourth grade child and teach me how to play. But until then, we did order the second set. It's coming out in October. I would imagine at some point Toho is going to really start to push the game. They have not yet, at least to my knowledge. So moving forward, Gundam card game. I want to touch on this because this one is very important. I mentioned previously that there's a second wave coming out of is it GD01? Is it GD01? Is that the first set? Where is it? Right here. BP01. I thought it was GD01 for some reason. Maybe it's BP01. So all of the distributors, to my knowledge, have sent out their second wave as of last week, if not before, except for my main distributor is sending the second wave out this week. That's why you're seeing some downward pressure in the market. Once we get through this week, next week, I would anticipate the product to recover fairly quickly. The singles are selling, have very strong sell-through. The boxes have very strong sell-through. I mean, I'm seeing 40, 50, 60 boxes a day. If you're trying to buy it, I would recommend the end of this week is probably going to be somewhere around your low. If you're trying to sell it, I would not sell it this week for the very same reason. The second set is coming out the 24th of October. We'll see what happens there. Dual Impact, I guess it's called. we'll see. We'll see what the allocations look like. I know Bandai was really in the weeds on allocating this for the first set. We'll see if that holds. It was very difficult to get a hold of. Lorcana, I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna talk about Lorcana. It doesn't do it for me. But I will talk about Riftbound because I have some very important information here. So apparently last week, all of the distributors who are signed up to carry Riftbound received their purchase orders, at least the preliminary purchase orders from the company. Now, there are no allocations out yet because the company has yet to release the organized playlists to all the distributors. It does look like they are going to take an active role in allocating with distribution. I will also tell you that in the few conversations that I've had, it does appear that the quantity of booster boxes of Riftbound is at a similar level, if not lower, than Gundam. So my guess is it is going to be extremely heavily allocated. Now we'll get more information this week, certainly as the OP list gets out to distributors and we start to have further conversations about what the allocations look like. But this has been an absolute nothing burger for a while with no information. And now that the distributors know what they're getting, and, when I say Gundam, my best guess is 125 to 150,000 boxes in English in the United States. I might be a little bit on the high side. So you can kind of see if it's at that level or a little bit lower. I would imagine that the orders for Riftbound are a little bit higher than Gundam. So that remains to be seen. I could be totally wrong on those estimates. I'm just kind of taking the information that I have from talking to different reps and different distributors and extrapolating. Just gives me some idea of what the magnitude looks like. So, moving on, Weiss, just very quickly. So the Nikki set looks like it has all shipped. There has been some licensing back and forth between Bushi and I forget what their name is, who owns the rights to Nikki. Apparently, there was some dispute over whether this second reprint. And by the way, it was a reprint. It was not additional stock. The individual sample packs have different wording. It is a different pack stock. So it is 100% confirmed that it is a different printing than what we've got the first time. Everything's on the market. The prices are about as low as they're ever going to go. I think the cases are down to $11.50-ish plus tax on TCG Player. So if you're interested, you should probably buy it, but you're going to have some time before it recovers and everything works through the system. Azure Lane, one data point that I do have is it looks like the orders for Azure Lane were between 2 and 2.5 times what they were for Nikki. That was 3 or 4 different distributors gave me similar ratios on that. So Azure Lane's going to be a banger, but it also scares me a little bit because there's going to be a lot of it. So that brings me to Freerun Journey Together? Journey, some shit. This is the first anime I've been able to watch 2 episodes and not get bored because I've kind of forced myself because this is coming and I wanted to see if it was complete garbage or not. So I don't know yet. So Beyond Journey's End. So the reprint, the orders for this have been a little light based on where I thought they would be. Now they're not due until next week. But as far as reprints go, I don't think there's going to be a lot of this. Probably, there's certainly going to be more than first. The only reason why this is interesting is as the IP continues to grow, and this is apparently the #1 anime right now and has been for the last little bit. The demand for this one should grow. Again, I don't really do Y sets. They tend to be dead money far more often than they're not. But this is one that's interesting. And then obviously Nikki and Azure Lane. Azure Lane has the first set that was an absolute home run. Nikki, I mean, look at the cards. You find somebody who doesn't like them, other than potentially your wife, girlfriend, fiance, etc. So that being said, let's hit the big sets. I think that's it with the small ones. We're gonna hit Pokemon first because we have a bunch of drama in both these games, and a lot of inaccuracies in the market. So, Mega Evolutions distro came out. Pokemon communicated to distribution that there's going to be 60% of the total product hitting right around release. It looks like it's going to be really, really tight. So, whether we have product for the pre-release weekend the week before or not, I don't know. I think we'll most likely have the non-enhanced version and the build and battle boxes for pre-release, so we can sell pre-release kits. The rest of the SKUs, I'm assuming, are going to come a little bit later. Right around, like literally land on the 26th or 27th, which quite honestly has been the case the last couple times with some of the SKUs just not showing up on time. But the 60% has been confirmed to be the 3-pack blisters, the booster box, the booster bundle, the ETB, and the sleeve booster case. The check lane blisters apparently are not going to be split that way. And then the second wave, which is 40% of the remainder, everybody's saying 3 weeks. That to me probably translates into the end of October or the first week of November. So there's going to be a sizable gap between there. So if you've pre-sold a bunch of these, you're going to have to figure out the best way to message that. I think from our perspective, we're going to communicate. And maybe what we do is we charge a little bit of a premium if somebody wants the first wave, and a little bit of a lesser price if they want the second wave. I don't know. We're still going through that. We're still weeks away from even starting our pre-releases. We're still missing the allocation from our biggest supplier. So we'll see. Team Rocket tins are allocated. As expected, they're super tight. I will mention that the Salamence and Reshiram EX Premium Collection, again, this is a 10-packer, so it's 5 Surging, 5 Destined, very similar to what we just saw with the Massive Ogerpon, and the Mega Latias EX box. There are a lot of these at distribution. And when I say a lot, one of my distributors, for the first time in, oh my God, forever, I got 100% of my allocation for what I asked for. And I was thrilled because it wasn't one of those things where there's a big unknown and I'm terrified. I asked for a lot. I got a lot. I'm happy. So moving on, trainer toolkits and the Gengar battle decks have not been allocated yet. We'll see what they look like. I'm guessing they're going to be really, really tight. There isn't a whole lot of product here in the numbers I've seen from distribution. But things are pretty tight here. I have not seen what the big spoilers are yet from Worlds. I'm sure I will see them at some point tonight because somebody's going to stream or post something somewhere. But as of right now, I'm really, really tired. I have to be up early tomorrow, and I don't really care that much because it's not super time impactful. So moving to Magic the Gathering. Here is where things get funky. So we've asked ourselves multiple times, why did they steamroll Spider-Man going into Avatar? The rumors are there was some sort of licensing dispute between Marvel / Disney / Ravensburger, overprint the shit out of games and destroy them burger, whatever you want to call them. I don't know if that's true, but what I will tell you is be extremely careful if you think you're buying play boosters to speculate. There's going to be so much money involved. I guarantee you all of the parties will sort out whatever licensing issues they have. And by the way, if these... WotC supposedly has licensing on 5 total Marvel sets. So you don't do 5 more. There aren't 4 sets in the future if they don't work through this one. So I fully intend on, all parties involved to work through this. There's enough money to chop up and to have a normal release and more play boxes coming. I would not listen to the folks trying to scare you saying that this is the new reserve list and it's not going to be reprinted. I don't believe that shit for a second. When there's a lot of money on the table, all parties involved figured out a way to chop it up. And look, everybody may leave the table pissed off, but there's no worse outcome than for all parties just to leave money on the table and not figure it out. So they have every incentive to do so. Still have not seen any serialized cards there yet. I'm assuming there's none, which again scares the crap out of me. Same with Avatar. Now, we don't know anything from Avatar yet. We've seen some of the spoilers. We can just assume that if there's no serialized card in Spider-Man, there may not be an Avatar either. Which again, having no serialized card in collector boxes loses confidence with the market because they can be reprinted. Now, whether you believe they're reprinted or not, that's on you and your God if you like. But with what we saw with Neon Dynasty, where they clearly reprinted a giant wave after they went up, they could do it again. And there is no rule where they say they won't reprint them. And remember, these are the same jackasses that said we won't reprint the reserve list, and all of a sudden you have 30th anniversary. So I don't believe them for a second. I don't trust them. This one scares the crap out of me. I would not buy Avatar at the current prices. Now, Spider-Man at the current prices is a little bit of a different conversation because there is a fairly sizable shortage of supply now. But with Avatar, there's no way I'd pay $1,000 for a collector box right now. I wouldn't pay $250 for a play box. I wouldn't pay $170 for a jumpstart box. Those prices are absolutely insane. In fact, I wouldn't even be comfortable selling at those prices. But again, they are going to figure out a way to figure out the license so they can reprint Spider-Man. It's just going to happen. The other thing of note, Bloomburrow and Duskborn reprints for Commander displays are coming this week. I actually had some shit from Distribution Friday. That's why I was a little head scratching with the Rudy sale on Friday, and I'm not throwing stones, but he said, this is the last Duskborn I'm getting. I don't anticipate getting any more, but there's a reprint coming this week. And it's coming to all distributors because I have confirmed orders in with everybody. So that one is a little weird to me, unless I only get 5 displays from everybody and it's a very, very tiny reprint, but I've not seen that with Commanders. But we are getting Bloomburrow, we are getting Duskborn, and we are getting a sizable reprint of Ixalan. I don't know when they're coming. The Ixalan is coming probably 2 to 3 weeks from now. Other than that, there's one distributor who is getting a large amount of Final Fantasy that I know of that they haven't gotten yet. The rest of the distributors, I believe, have what they're getting for now. I could be wrong. They could be getting an assload of Final Fantasy with the rest of these as well. But that's not what I've been told. Other than that, really no big reprints that are going to be super impactful on the market. So that's this week in distribution. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord, and have a great Sunday night.